It's really a blessing because of the semi right up down. The decking is bad on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the school bus has got
Now, until the 6th of September, 46 is the 19th of August, 30th.
Dennis.
The 19th of August, till the 6th of September.
You know,
It's a cut through, it's gonna be a cut through, yeah.
anybody that lives here is gonna go cut through that, maybe through that
It
development.
takes the semi right down.
Oh, yeah, see that.
There's some close up to that.
Yeah. Is there no tree truck?
Signage on ours was 3 tons. No, Cheryl, I tried that, I blocked him with my car. I what's going to put semi push it out of the way. We can't stop him. I tried, but I won't say.
Okay, call the meeting to order, stand for the pledge, silent prayer, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here. This meeting will be recorded for informational purposes only. All comments will be taken at the end of the meeting and limited to 2 minutes. If any resident has a question or comment, raise your hand. You will be recognized by the chair. Come to the podium, clearly state your name and address for the record. Multiple speakers at the same time will not be allowed.
Thank you. 16519 to accept the minutes from the July 9th, 2019 regular meeting.
I'll move.
Second?
Trustee Rose?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Yes.
16619 to accept the meeting minutes from the July 19th, 2019 special meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Rose?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Rose?
Yes.
16719 to accept the meeting minutes from the July 29th, 2019 special meeting.
I'll move.
Second?
Trustee Rose?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
168-19 to authorize the fiscal officer to pay all outstanding invoices and approve all warrants issued occurred from August 13th, 2019 through September 9th.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Rose?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Yes.
Any correspondence is available on request, administration. You guys, anything? Ted?
I don't say anything about the bridge.
Yeah, we can at this point. Just letting the residents know that we're going to have 2 bridges down in the community here starting, well, one started yesterday, Cleary Jacoby near Knapp Drive. That bridge will be down until September the 6th for replacement. State of Ohio is replacing a bridge on 46, which is near the golf course, General Wind Golf Course. That will start on the 19th of August, and hopefully the completion date will be September 30th. So from from August 19th until September the 6th, 2 of our main north-south corridors are going to be detoured. sure how you're gonna get where you wanna go. Want to get to Dunkin' Donuts.
And the fire chief has made reservations with other fire departments to cover the southeastern quadrant, so.
Anything else?
Nothing more.
Okay, just give everybody an update on the water project here on Route 5. I talked to Gary Newbrow last week. It's in its 90% design drawing stage. He expects to have the final design in about 4 to 6 weeks. Then after that, he'll schedule a public hearing for the residents here on Route 5. Fiscal officer.
The one thing I have is that I've been contacted that there'll be a 2017 and 2018 state audit.
Fire department. Dennis.
Or, no, sorry.
Nothing to report.
Okay, police department.
You already hit the road closures I was gonna bring up, and just the agenda items, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 16919, to make a temporary assignment of Sergeant Jake Abbott permanent effective immediately retro back to July 11th, 2019.
I'll move.
Second,
Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee White?
Yes.
Okay, 17019, to purchase 14 Marks portable radios from Vasu Communications, see attached quote at state pricing for a total of $27,622 to transition to the same system that the 911 center to be paid from the police equipment fund, number 2082.
make the motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, 171-19, to purchase 5 new desktop computers with Windows 10 ISIS in order to bring the police department computers in compliance with reporting system requirements. The purchase will be made by Joel Davis and CBW for a total cost of $627 per computer, for a total cost of $3,135 to be paid from account 2081-210-590-2000 other expenses, OMBI.
question on the motion, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman. To the police chief, there's 5 enough?
Yes, those are the key ones in the station. We have other ones that aren't used anymore.
Okay, so that replace all the use.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'll go ahead and make the motion.
Second.
Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee White?
Yes,
Okay, non-agenda items, road department, I don't believe they had anything going on. So we'll move to planning director, zoning inspector, and code enforcement officer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've given you a list of the zoning permits that have been issued up to date for the year. There were 6 permits issued through the month of July. $1,193.50 for collecting fees. There's money to be turned over to the fiscal officer. On the 27th of July, the 23rd of July, Trustee Webb and I met with the architects for the Dollar General store on the west side of the lake and went over the basic plan. They have denied their initial zoning permit request due to the number of parking slots that they had designed in. It doesn't meet the resolution requirement. They have filed for a variance. There's a public hearing on the 27th here at the Township Hall to hear that variance. They've done many studies over the number of stalls or parking slots necessary, and basically less hardscape is better today with the runoff that hardscape creates. So unless there's objection from the neighbors, I suggest the township doesn't object to it, to the variance. There's also a list of the complaints that are ongoing. Now that we get towards the end of the year, if there are any that are nuisance properties that I've not been made aware of or haven't caught myself, please have somebody give me a call or let me know. And I know I've been asked by Paul once before during a meeting about pods. We have nothing in our zoning resolution that prohibits them. I have spoken to the one you were referring to. Now, there should be a second one right next door. As a matter of fact, that they called regarding how long they get to repair some tornado damage. So we'll probably have to address that with some sort of a zoning amendment in the near future. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Zoning commission, zoning appeals board.
BZA's meeting, like I said, on the 27th. They'll have their organizational meeting, and then they'll have a public hearing on the variance for the Dollar General store.
Okay, park and recreation board.
We meet next Tuesday, August the 20th at 7 o'clock right here. Pardon? AM or PM? PM.
Okay, no one asked to be placed on the agenda, so we'll open for public comment.
Paul Carlson, Lake Shore Drive. Chairman Hose, at the last meeting, I requested to know the number of unallocated or unbudgeted dollars that are in the general fund. It was not known at that time, which is certainly understandable, but you indicated that you would have that information for today's meeting. So I would appreciate that. A second point on that issue, those unallocated dollars, I believe, in the past have been used for local matches to achieve state grants to alleviate the burden on the general fund for the township. I would hope that that would be the case as we move forward with the Wilshire projects, Fallon Drive, and potentially other projects. It would seem to me to be a real misuse of township funds if 100% of those the dollars for those paving projects were to come from local dollars. I think they should be used to secure some sort of match as we have done in the past. Also, just a note, the caucus today at 4 o'clock was not posted in the Tribune, so I believe it should be. Is there an explanation for that?
Well, let's address the funds first of all. As I told you, the inheritance money, which I did do a lot of homework, and I met for 2.5 hours with Jeannie, and I left it at my office. But I can tell you what I remember from it. The inheritance money that came in was a total of $985. $985,000 approximate. There was a list that I was looking for on what got paid out of there over the years. There's been, since 2012, $70,000 a year that the general fund was overspent from monies that when Kasich made his cuts, and there's probably about 8 different paving projects that was done. One was PBR on Wilshire Drive, or not Wilshire, Beaver Trail 5 years ago. That was paid out of the general fund, which was using that money. Clear Jacoby Road was out of that money. The fire station was out of that money. The police departments, and I don't remember the exact number. I was still looking for that, and I believe it was between $50,000 and $70,000 to pay off 2 of their cars. The road department got a truck out of those funds, but a lot of the funds that were used out of that was for paving projects. There's Kobe Road, there was Howard Wilson, we had a pipe and a ditch culvert that needed fixed, was used. You know, so these flooded areas or problem areas, that's what that money was used for.
Excuse me, go ahead.
And I have a whole list of everything that was purchased out of there. So out of the general fund, there's, what did we say, 586, 556. So $598,000 in the general fund, approximately $350,000 of that is what's left from the inheritance money, which is where we would use the money to pay for this Wilshire project coming in if the bids are where we see fit. And then the money just sits there. That's the reason over the years when Rita kept saying that the general fund has no money, that money is sitting in there, but it's to be used for as we see these road repairs or culvert pipes or what have you. That's what we've been using it for.
And thank you. Not to belabor the point, but you're telling me that there's approximately $350,000 in the fund today unallocated, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, will those monies be used for local monies to achieve state or federal grants for future projects? In other words, what I'm saying is we will not be using all of those monies. These road projects will not be funded with 100% local dollars.
Correct. And almost, well, this Wilshire being at the end of the year, it's too late for issue 1. So that road there will probably be 100% general fund. Now, the Fall and Drive that Chris is putting out there and the Beaver Trail project, that's what those funds is used for, the matching for him to get the grants to offset, to match that money.
So just one final comment. Wilshire Drive has been repaving or repaving for the last 5 years. I don't think anybody, particularly those folks that live on Wilshire, would contradict me on that. It seems to me that we could have used those monies that were present 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, portions of it from local match to obtain federal or state dollars and save the local tax-based dollars for future projects. If had that been done, had there been foresight shown, we would not have to spend, as you put it, at year end, 100% of local dollars on this project.
And just remember, Paul, also, I mean, it doesn't guarantee that this project's gonna go first, but yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh. One second, Shirley. And back to the caucus that was not, okay. Jeannie sent on Sunday at 9 o'clock, she sent to Bob Copeland. This just has the solution. So attention for yes. You are correct. The email that was sent, because I was in question of the hearing tonight, because I've seen it in today's paper, and it was actually sent Sunday, and we have the email, the Tribune put the meeting yesterday, and there's 5 o'clock, and nothing about the caucus, and nothing about the hearing until today.
Nothing about the caucus today.
Pardon?
There was nothing about the.
No, I just said she thought it was on. I apologize for that. Yeah, I have that list, I just wanted to see if you. Sure.
Cheryl Tennant, 1061 Perkins Jones Road, Warren, Ohio. With the budget that I have, that I reviewed, the balance on 6/31/19 in the road fund was 102,627.26. The motor vehicle tax fund was 76,8039. The gas tax fund was 156,851.07. When you do road maintenance is supposed to come out of the gas tax fund, not the general fund. If you don't have it in the gas tax fund, don't use the general fund money that's supposed to be used for everything else, such as the park, the zoning, things like that. So if you have that, why aren't you using part of that money and then go for a, just let me,
Great.
thanks. Yeah, and go for that in matching funds. I don't understand why you don't do that. Frank?
Well, some of this, like the license plate money, that is used in the 102, I didn't catch up what that was, 102,000.
102,627.26
That comes in on the
is
levy.
the road fund balance of
Okay,
631.
well, as you know, we buy salt. The overtime for plowing and all that is out of probably the 102.
Yeah, but that was the balance of 631, so your
Well,
salt.
he has to buy salt yet.
Well, I haven't seen that on payments out.
No, you won't until probably October. I think October. you
Well,
buy
they
salt.
do their summer fill, so that bill ought to be coming here soon.
Yeah, and then they'll do it 2 times a year, they get salt.
So I guess my thought process is if you don't have the money enough in any account really, then why are you trying to scrape it from the general fund to repay these roads? I know they need done, that's not my question. My question is you don't have the funds. You just don't. And once you take out the salt and any other projects that you might have to buy or pay for, you're not gonna have anything. If you need a truck repaired, you're not gonna have it. If you need a new truck, you're not gonna have it. It's not there. That's what I read in the budget. And that was on 6/31, so you may have taken out a little bit less. There might be a little bit less in those funds right now since it's, well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So I don't know where you're getting the money from. Not even the general fund. The general fund was not supposed to pave roads. The general fund was supposed to support.
But it can pay for roads.
It can,
Yes.
but you're putting yourself to
Well,
so low that it's not.
I agree. What do? You can't take out a loan.
No, you tell your constituents that you just flat don't have the money. It's just,
How many times did we put on the levies though? And I mean,
Well, you tell
we
me.
actually beg the people, and they don't see it.
okay, if they don't see it, then you have to explain to them. If they're not passing the levy, you don't have the money.
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't make good
Oh, I know.
money sense.
Well, here's another problem. If you get a culvert like we had years ago, go down in Timothy, it's $60,000 for one culvert.
Right.
I've always tried to keep a little bit of money
But
back.
now what you'll say is, okay, now we have this culvert, we have to fix it, but we fixed your road, so we can't do it. We spent the money on the road.
There you go.
There you go.
No, that's a good point.
That's all I had.
May I restate all that?
Yeah.
And you are going over it 34 State Route 5, PO Box 292, Portland. Okay, I was gonna ask about the version, do you know that it's the same setup as CoinGate, during CoinGate, where you're not allowed to know anything about OPERS? And that's why they can jack up their fees and everything. You know, I see on the thingy that you have OPERS. Do you guys have OPERS? Ohio Pension, Ohio Employee Pension Relief, or whatever it is, the retirement thing, is OPERS. So we all know that that's still CoinGate time setup, where you're not allowed to know anything about how much is in the pension fund and all. Well, anyhow, I was gonna mention that one, and I was wondering whether or not the rest of Trumbull County still wants to tap into Bazetta. I hope not. I couldn't get a hold of them. But now we're talking where these funds, do they have, according to his tenant, there are rules saying where all that goes. So I want to know sanitary, water, and all that good stuff that they're having trouble with in Mahoney County. And I think they should be hauling away those people that are still out of that funding for Doubletree and all them should be hauled away in cuffs. So when you have all this coming, this, you're talking 5 is in the design part of it. Do we know where all those fees are going to go? And will it only go to making it better for whoever's paying those fees, where they don't have to hear a walk down the road that we need to, the system's old and we didn't fix it then because we needed a Doubletree or something, or a Dollar General or whatever, where all that money is going to go towards the system, the sanitary, so going towards sanitary, the water's all going towards getting water to people, where anything else is all going towards that entity, and nobody's going to grab it out like Tito Brown, well, probably not Tito Brown, but people before him, you know? And, well, I'm just gonna make sure that there are rules where that money goes, and you can't just grab it like they did in Mahoney County.
You mean, what you're trying to say is on this water line out on Route 5 here?
Right,
That's what you're talking about?
and all the other sanitary stuff,
Okay, you've already got the sewer in, now we're working on the water line.
right. So all that $37 or whatever comes out, I don't know, check any account every month.
That's for the sewer line.
Right, that all goes towards the sewer setup,
Now,
not it going anywhere else.
right, but when they put the water line in,
That has nothing to do with the township.
no, it's nothing to do with the township, but I'm trying to explain to her
Yeah.
where that money's gonna go to Trumbull County.
Are you saying that they are going to tap into our systems, our Bazetta? We're not gonna let that, right?
But, I thought,
The sanitary.
You had said before
Yeah.
that they wanted to get in on, to the rest of the county or wherever wanted to grab.
Right, there's two different sewer districts in Trumbull County.
Right.
The
Nice to sit down.
Mosquito Creek sanitary system has been very well maintained. It has been very profitable. The one note that was to build the system was retired back in 2012. The rates should have come down from $5 and some odd cents to $3 and some odd cents per thousand cubic feet. Trumbull County Commissioners decided to keep it at 5, and that surplus, there's about $14 million sitting in surplus right now. And out of that surplus, they're upgrading the system, there's gonna be a $32 million system upgrade, and they'll use about $8 million out of that surplus as a down payment to help get matching funds for the project. The problem that we're having though is the other system, which takes care of Leavittsburg and parts of Howland and Champion and Brookfield, and they're bankrupt.
Right.
And
I went to the
So-
commissioner for Trumbull Place, right next to the Board of Elections, and nobody was home. So,
Trumbull County Commissioners, and I just talked to Commissioner Mauro Canvalesa, and he says, we're probably not gonna like the decision that's gonna be coming down in a month or so. So, there's talk at the commissioner's level, county level, of merging the two systems together. And now all of a sudden, our rates will jump up to $7 and some cents. And then a year later, we're gonna go to $9 and some cents. So we're gonna see a doubling of our surplus.
why isn't that illegal? Why didn't they, state auditor, when Keto Brown said, no, you can't have, we're not gonna pay it back, even though we dipped into it, and it's, the residents paid for their sewer and their everything else, and
See, in Bazetta Township or Mosquito Creek Sanitary District, we have our own filtration plant here, okay? The other district, they have to pay to Warren City, because they're using their filtration plant. They pay to Sharon, for using their filtration plant. And there's 4 different filtration plants that other system is using. The city of Warren just kind of threw something at the system here about 8 months ago. Their contract with the county expired, and they really put it to the county. They decided to really start charging a lot more than what they had been. So now it's the trickle down effect where the money's got to come in and the money's got to go out.
but I don't understand why there isn't something in place that says, hey, this money came out of the pockets of these people and should be going towards the system that gets them their utilities, those specific utilities.
I mean,
Why isn't there? And I mean,
we have petitioned Trumbull County Commissioners as a board of trustees in a letter that saying we're opposing what they're about to do. And that's about the only strength that we have at this point. I've attended a couple of different meetings where the county engineer and the commissioners were there. And they just kind of said, this system's bankrupt and this system's healthy. We're thinking of merging the two together. So not anything that we can do from our standpoint. Is those protests would have to be addressed to the Trumbull County Commissioners.
they, okay. I suppose I have to email or something. But what about this other thing? The Route 5 thing? How do we, thank you, how do we know that the money's out of our pockets to go to that? And I'm hoping, since I don't plan on tapping into the water, that there won't be anything, but I have no clue. Can you tell me? How much am I gonna be paying for the water?
We
when
can't,
I don't,
that's,
when I plan on keeping my,
in about 6 weeks, Trustee Hovis had mentioned that in about 6 weeks,
so I'm still paying off the sewer.
will be completed in the public meeting.
Well, yeah. I'd imagine sometime in October, we'll have public hearings.
And do they plan on stiffing the people that aren't gonna use it? And why didn't they do it when the sewer went through?
We won't know anything on that until we have the public hearing and get their confirmed prices. Thank you, Stan.
Amos Reddick, Lakeshore Drive, Cortland.
I'm really confused now. Sorry about that. I was listening to all this, and you've been spending money out of that $900 and some odd thousand dollars for since 2012 because you've been deficit spending for basically a lot of years. And if you multiply it out, that amount, that's $70,000. That accounts for that $300,000. So you've been overspending this, taking this out. Why have you been overspending? Why didn't you address this back then?
It was addressed, it's in the minutes.
Yeah, but you never did anything.
Yes, we did.
Oh, for what, 2012 to 2019, 7 years. 7 years.
We did a lot of
You've
cuts.
been addressing this for 7 years, and now all of a sudden. Just question, I'm really puzzled about that.
It's all in the minutes that I
Yeah.
researched, and I wish I had brought that notebook, because I can put everything out there, you'll see it.
Because in January, I had to ask if you had a plan to bring your deficit spending in, and you said at that time, in January of this year, you did not have a plan. So evidently, you've acted on a plan going that direction.
We've always acted on it. We cut the 70,000 down to, I believe we knocked, what, 27, and then a total of 40,000. But Jeannie and I was going over some numbers the other night, and we have a few more things to look at. And
Because you had 900 plus thousand, now you've got 300 plus thousand. So you've spent 600 plus thousand in 7 years trying to figure this out, right?
We did
Where's
some
my math
improvements. We've done some improvements. Well, the big improvement was in the park, at what, 13,000 for electrical? Isn't that what it was? Something like that, we had to put that big panel in and.
7,000 for the electric, 6,000 to fix the roof. You had air conditioning here, roof and windows in here, which is about 25. You got 25,000 in the column area. You got 70,000, I believe, it went to the PD to pay off their cars. You got 150,000 in the land for the new fire station, which was there was
That come out of the fire department though, right?
Not the
no, it
land,
did not
They come out of that
come
money.
out of the
not the
area.
land.
All right,
It's a good idea.
all right, move on to the next
The
question.
only good idea.
You have an opportunity to get matching funds by waiting till January to submit for bids, so you can get state funding or some kind of funding for the roads.
That's on
But
that
you're
one.
pushing this right now, so if you sign the contract now, the general fund is going to eat the entire amount versus waiting till January to sign it and get additional assistance. And they're not gonna do the roads now anyhow. It's coming up,
yes.
it's coming up to winter, okay?
That's when they paid.
Yeah, but why not wait 4 months? You've waited how many years to do this drive? What's 4 more months over the years that you've been waiting? When you don't have to spend this money that you really don't have.
But you can't bet 100,000 on it neither. I mean, he may not get a grant.
Okay,
It goes by points.
What was the Beaver Trail deal? That was,
It was
Thirty.
like 54, 46,
Well,
we
yeah.
had to pay 54.
we had to pay 54, we got 54 just to do Beaver Trail.
you got 54 what?
54 is coming out of the general fund. That's our local match.
Oh, so why not wait till the beginning of next year?
He
do
already
this.
has 2 roads allotted for that next year issue.
So, but
There's
you're
only certain amount.
it makes no sense on my side, over here, looking at the dollars and cents, it makes no sense to rush this through right now when you can get possibly matching funds or some sort of additional funds. Because by right now, technically, listening to what she says, you really don't have.
You won't get grant money for that road.
All right,
It's
so
only
then
one way in.
Grant matching funds, matching funds.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's get the right terminology then. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology. Matching funds. Why don't you wait till
January 1 to start approaching us. You're shaking your head no.
No, you can't, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Go on.
You won't get matching grants on Wilshire,
Why?
because it's only an egress road. It's not a through road.
So then it's always been that?
They do a traffic count on these roads, and then you get points. And
All right.
if Chris was here, he could explain it better than I can. But some roads that we paved, he may get 50 points, some he may get 32. It all goes by traffic.
So why don't you wait till the beginning of next year to have this road done? And maybe with the additional contracts that you're going to do, you said 2 more roads? So then that would be 3 possibly. You could get some sort of additional break by stacking these up and have the company come in and say, listen, you're gonna do 3 roads.
That's why we got this out to bid now.
But why?
They're already
if you
going
sign it
paper
now,
trails,
you're
so-
committed. You signed it. now,
Nobody
you're
signed
committed.
nothing yet. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Nobody said that project is going through. These are the steps in the process you have to go through to do it.
Okay.
So when we open the bids, it'll be public. When the meeting is, you're more than welcome to come and sit there.
Because what we had, 2 years ago, time goes so fast. Mr. Sowers sat there with all his programming and stuff, and his beautiful, shall we say, PowerPoint, thank you. PowerPoint presentation that we can't do anything. Now, all of a sudden, you're taking all this money out of the general fund, right? So where's it coming from? Where's this money coming from to do this road?
Well, part of it's from the
It's
inheritance.
from the inheritance.
It's in the general fund because that's where it has to be kept.
Okay, well, last question. When this tornado went through, the road department did a lot of work over there fixing things. Is any of that covered under the insurance?
The road department, all they did is pull trees off the people and get that stuff.
Well, if it hits something, are you going to be reimbursed from the insurance company for the work that the road department does in the cemetery?
We already got some of it. We don't know where our final is gonna be with that until we get the bid packet up, get that project going, and then we see where we're at.
Okay, so then if you get reimbursed for the work that that Chris is paying out of his account to pay his employees, okay, then does that give Chris more money for the roads? No, it does not.
Because anything that's being done over at the cemetery is being, it's general fund money. It's not
It's
Chris's
cemetery.
money.
Well, what's the insurance cover? What's the insurance gonna cover?
We're paying for a building, we're paying for somebody's
Tractors,
tractors.
equipment, buildings, stones.
Any
That's why we gotta wait until
physical
the bid
damage,
comes
one
back, which
insurance
goes out
company
and
will
comes back.
cover. If a tree falls over and hits some sort of thing, they'll cover that. So are they covering any of the tombstones and stuff that was hit?
It's part of the package.
Thank you, John.
Any other public comment? Bob?
Bob McBride, Moore Meadville Road. I've got a few questions. First one is, this is directed to Frank Parks. Over there on the walking trail, is there a reason, or any of you can give me, that it hasn't been sprayed? It's nothing but grass, the walking path around the park. That,
I thought they sprayed it. They didn't spray it?
I mean, I'm not trying, it's terrible. I can't believe that nobody, you guys don't even know what's going on over there. It's this high of grass. You can't walk around. 90% of it is all overgrown. Don't we have 3 applicators that are licensed to spray in the township? You told me yourself, Frank, right? I mean, it's weeds. They gotta go. They're not even hardly mowing it.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
they can't.
gonna
They can't.
disagree with you. I go over there about 2 times a week and.
Well, I think you better go walk it. I walked it
Oh,
last
the
night.
path
okay?
is not walked. I will
The path.
agree, but the grass is not this high.
Okay, it's this high.
It's,
Okay, let's,
Yeah,
It shouldn't be high at all, okay?
They didn't spray, I don't
They have not
believe they
sprayed at all
sprayed,
this year.
yes, they did, they,
Well, it's terrible. I'm just saying, we have money that's in there that Cafarrell donated, is that right? That's part of the park maintenance. That should be done.
no,
Yes,
we're keeping that money for improvements.
that's an improvement.
They're paying for the maintenance. The general fund is now paying for the maintenance of the park.
You're paying for the maintenance of the park?
Yes.
Then why hasn't it been sprayed?
Well, I think it was, but I don't know, I'll check on it.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, it takes
I know you
more than
can't.
one spray.
You know-
It's terrible, Frank.
Well, and you know you can't mow it because it's big thornies in there. You
Well,
can't.
that's what I'm saying, then you try and walk on there, then you're stepping on top of these. I went over to walk, I walked around there 3 times, it's just the first time the whole year. But then I'm gonna start exercising, and I couldn't believe it. And there is a lot of branches that they should trim up some. You know, it needs trimmed up. And furthermore, I did offer to do tree trimming over there a year ago, but the weather was bad, and I was gonna go in there and do it for free myself, my company. But it was bad, and I don't really agree with having someone come in there that doesn't have no insurance, no workers' comp, and then we have to take a risk liability. I don't think that's to try and save a couple bucks. And then honestly, I tell you like that climbing wall, I would check with the insurance to make sure that we're not gonna up your liability insurance if someone's climbing a rock wall over there and then they fall and get hurt.
They'll come to us.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't. Chris, I'd like to ask you if you can, how much money's in the police, equipment fund?
$59,405.
And the trees really shouldn't be done till actually later than when the leaves fall off when they're dormant.
Yeah, we said November.
Yeah, they need to be dormant. Frank, can we get some of them other trees that's hanging over the park maybe done before the winter time comes? I mean, how many employees do we have on the road department? Are they busy right now? Are they all in, or do we have some
guys
off?
taking off time. I think Marcus is coming back this week, I'm not sure. Tomorrow? Couple weeks. But the only means we have to do is put somebody in the high lift. I hate to do that.
Well, no, not really. I mean, honestly, like next to the Purple House, which is now a different color,
I know
there's a
that's
lot
what-
lower ones you still could trim back. I mean, it's just they're way down there. I mean, you know they are. It's not.
I see that catalpa tree died too.
Is there one that died over there? I didn't really notice it.
That's up there by the backstop.
By where?
Up by the backstop where it makes the 90 there by the Purple House.
Uh-huh. Oh, is there? Is it close to the fence there?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, I didn't really notice it. Well, and the only other thing I would say is, are you guys talking to the Dollar General in person? So, Ted, you're handling that? or-
Well, Pete, basically, it's a zoning, yes. He's my
And, I mean, Gary Zuba brought up that point about maybe seeing if you could get past them if they would do a different change to the front like they did at the Howland one, you know.
Here's what their response was to that. I brought it up during the meeting.
Help them.
And they had read our resolution prior to even coming, and that they have people that do that.
Right.
And Howland has in their zoning resolution architectural requirements. We do not. We can't force them to do that. But we did ask them if they can make any aesthetic changes, you know, if they're gonna be saving money in pavement and
Right.
base, you know, that if there's any aesthetic improvements they could make, whether it be the lighting on the facade or anything like that. But she did say that there's no money set aside or budgeted for any architectural changes other than, you know, softening the hardscape of the building.
Well, I understand it's not in our resolution, whatever you want to say, but what I am saying is, it doesn't hurt to ask. They're not the only game in town, there's Dollar Tree, there's a lot of people, I mean, they seem to follow each other around, trying to, you know, they're like gas stations back in the 40s, they're all over the place, you know.
And we asked.
Okay. I mean, they just said they think about it, or?
She said that she would try to do what she could, but there were no guarantees.
And the only other thing I would like to ask the trustees is, who thought of the idea about doing Wilshire Drive this year? Whose idea
Well,
was
after we heard the residents complain and all the flooding, and if you drive down there and look at it.
I did.
It definitely needs addressed.
It's
And
bad.
it should have been addressed probably last year or the year before.
Well, there's probably a lot of streets that should have, but I understand, but I mean, and I'm not a contractor for that type of work, but I mean, I don't even see that being done for under $300,000. Do you really?
Guess you'll wait until the bids get
I
in.
guess we will. Okay, thank you.
Bob, I have a question for you. Are you willing to come over and volunteer some time in November to trim some of the trees?
Well,
I mean, I can bring it up to the trustees.
Yeah,
If
whatever
you're willing, I'll take your name and number.
you don't need, it's in the book.
Are you?
The thing is what really, on some of them trees, I mean, the oak trees, like I said, you really shouldn't climb them. If he's just gonna prune the bottom, he's really
That's
not.
always, yeah, that's
Yeah,
all
that-
right. I'm
that's really
asking
not
you,
gonna
are
be
you
much.
willing to come over?
Oh, I'm willing to do it, but honestly, the fence has to come down to get the truck in there. Okay, I was just looking at the other day when I walked around there.
So that's
Part of
enough.
the fence.
So that's enough?
No, it's not, no, it's, the fence has to come down. If you want the job done right, it has to come down. They're hanging all over. That part's a mess. I mean, Frank, you know, I volunteered to go around that whole path last year, but it kept raining and then I got busy and I planned on spending a day there. I mean, I've donated days to places for nothing. But we just couldn't get in there. It just didn't work that it wasn't. I don't have a problem doing it. But like I said, I looked at it, we'd have to remove part of the fence, would have to come back, we'd have to pull posts to get the bucket truck in there. I'd have to we have matting that we lay down to park the truck on so it doesn't sink. And yeah, I would be willing to do it, but like I said, the fence has to come down.
I think here again, you'd have to wait till in like October, November after we close.
Well, right, it would have to be, it's really supposed to, oak trees are supposed to be after the leaf, when the tree goes to sleep.
Yeah.
If the leaves are on the tree, it's not asleep. And oak trees are real susceptible to that. I forget the bug now, but it's, there's where it gets in there. The oak will leaf and that stuff. But we can always address that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other public comment?
Good evening, Christopher Profio, I'm representing Lakeview Athletic Club. So we wanted to check with the trustees and see if we can get permission to bring some additional soil in to manicure up the 2 ball fields over there. We were looking to do that last year, but as Bob alluded to, the weather was pretty crappy all last fall, and we thought we had a chance to do it. So I want to see what the process would be to get the dirt in. We need to have, that's our question, is we need to open up.
I talked to Thad the other day and I give him permission to go ahead as long as it's dry.
Who was that?
But Thad, he's usually working over there like on Mondays. So whoever he talked to, and he told me, but
Probably would have been Jeff Liber.
Okay.
Are you getting the dirt from SMS processing or?
I'm not sure, we just got something lined up already we were hoping to get it in earlier this year, but again, the weather's been so terrible. So.
we just going back that road, we just don't want it all broke up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think the plan was to try to get the stuff dumped, to get it moved onto the field the same day, so there's no tear up and just the seed pattern dirt sitting there. I just wanted to again walk through the
Yeah,
process.
you need to just get a hold of the guys at the road department, find out what day you're setting up when the truck's coming.
So that's
Preferably between 7 and 3. And I know with the Optimus Club, that's what we use is SNS processing. They bring it, they dump it. And for years, I used to be part of the LAC, so I was dead for 21 years. I was there.
Any other constraints that we would have as far as trying to manicure up on the sides is just over the years, some of the dirt's been kind of pushed and it's more of a dish being than it is really getting good drainage off there. I think we can clean up the edges. We may not need as much dirt. I know there's always been a question as far as digging and doing certain things that we don't want to cause an issue at the same time.
Well, what we've done at the Optimus Club with that is we just went down and rented a sod cutter, or got a sod cutter from somebody, cut that back, peeled that up, that way you're actually not digging, not gonna hurt any of the tile that way. And then feather the dirt from there.
Right.
But, I think any, like when you're gonna spread the dirt, you guys have a guy who's got a tractor,
Yes.
you know, that has to be, you know, kind of done between 7 and 3 if he wants to get through the gate, because we gotta unlock the gate,
Gotcha.
and then lock it back up.
Okay. All right, we'll do that. And as far as spring, we did what we could. We had a softball tournament on Saturday, because we tried to get some of that cleaned up that the grass road took over in a matter of a couple of weeks. It's
Yeah,
not being on the field. So we want to try to get some of that sprayed before we put the dirt down. Any issue with that?
Just,
Neighbors.
spraying the field, you need to get with the guys at the road department, because you cannot just go over like you do at your home with your regular roundup, because you could have other kids that go out there, and now you got a
it's gotta be
sickness.
signed.
It's gotta be, yeah. So there again, check with the road guys,
Okay, so check with Chris.
and give, yeah.
Okay.
Great.
That was it.
All right, thank you.
Why do you need here?
Okay.
One quick thing, what phase electric do we have on the park? Three phase?
No, I think it's water stream.
That
I can't tell you what phase it is, but
I would think
I doubt
it's big enough that it can be added on to.
Is there 3 cans over there, or just like one?
No,
Cans?
there's just one.
Okay.
It's just single phase.
But you put a big pipe, I remember you put that,
Yeah, well, Rory did it,
you
7,000.
put a big pipe in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, for added.
Yes. Okay, 17219, motion to adjourn the meeting at 5:55.
Can you just shine light, how many of Dollar General was it?
Yeah.
This is over on the other side of the road.
Right.
There's no Dollar Generals over there.
Did they have any choice in the matter, the residents next door? Where they would have all those spotlights